Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hey, welcome back to another video lesson. All right, we got a good one for you today. All right, this one is how to trade like a pro using the TTM Squeeze. All right. Hey, if that sounds good to you, then hey, do me a favor. One, like the channel. Give us a thumbs up. Really appreciate it. It doesn't cost you anything and it helps support the channel. And if you like what you hear, think about subscribing. Oh, and don't forget, stick around to the end because I'm going to show you how you can get my latest book, Trading Part-Time, completely for free. All right, let's go ahead and jump into this video lesson. Now, a lot of my listeners, a lot of you watching this, I know you trade the squeeze. I love the squeeze, but what do we do when it fakes us out, right? That moment in time where it's going against us and we have to make a decision. Do we stay in the trade or do we get out? Okay, that's what I'm going to talk about in this training video lesson. So thanks so much for attending this training video lesson. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to look at 𝗣𝗟𝗦, and I want to talk about specifically how do we trade the squeeze head fake. Have you ever looked at the chart, right? It was a beautiful trend. Let's just say uptrend. It was a beautiful uptrend. Moving averages were stacked in a squeeze. You got the momentum shift. You got in the trade. Maybe a couple days it went in your favor, but then it went against you, and here's the ultimate kicker. You stopped yourself out, or you got stopped out just to see it reverse back and go right in the direction you assumed it was going to go the whole time. This is what we call the squeeze fake out. And the hardest part about this is dealing with your emotions. So I'm hoping that in today's video, it gives you a little insight. So when you see this in your charts, you can be a little bit more prepared. So hopefully that sounds good for you. Okay, so we're looking at 𝗣𝗟𝗦. Now, we're going to go back in time. I'm going to show you a couple charts, but I'm going to go back in time. But then you can apply this into a chart now. Okay, so when you see a chart that's got this type of setup, you're going to be well equipped. First thing I want to point you out on 𝗣𝗟𝗦, and this is the daily time frame, but it doesn't matter which time frame. I want you to, let me change colors for you guys. I want you to see this beautiful uptrend, right? So it's yellow. But look how this is a beautiful uptrend. And it's an uptrend for quite a bit of period of time. There we go. Now we're kicking. The blue is stacked beautifully above the red, which is stacked above the 34. So you guys know me. And stick around. This video is going to be amazing. This might be the video that just explodes your 2021, right? Okay, so the blue, which is the 8 exponential moving average, is stacked above the 21, and that's stacked above the 34. So it's a beautiful uptrend. And you can see in this particular case, look at that. I mean, you're talking about a serious uptrend. And this uptrend is littered also with squeezes, right? Consolidation periods. Now, we're going to alert, well, I'm going to alert you to this period right here. Okay, because this is where a lot of people get faked out. And I have looked at hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of charts. Okay, and this happens way more than you realize. So pay attention, right? We're going to talk about the squeeze head fake. Okay, so let's dissect this bad boy. Let me expand the chart out so you see. Now, this is back in time, but let's take a look at this. So let me get my drawing items. Okay, so here's our beautiful squeeze, right? Beautiful squeeze. So we got the trend, it's up. Moving averages are stacked. We look down here, we got the squeeze. Everything's cool. Now, when I tell my students where I like to enter on the squeeze is that shift in momentum, right? The shift in momentum. Because the squeeze, it's not like a bull flag where we're just trying, we need the momentum explosion. With the squeeze, we plan on the stock consolidating for a little bit, a period of time. So it's not as important. It is important, but not as important. But I teach that when the momentum shifts on the Ready, Aim, Fire Pro or in the indicator TTM Squeeze Pro itself, that is our entry. So we would have entered probably somewhere in there. Beautiful. Okay, went up. Now, you know my target is somewhere up there, but here's the deal. It rolled down. Look at this. And then it slingshotted back up. So let's dissect this, okay? Let's really go deep on this one. So here we go. So you got support. Okay, you got support. So look how it broke support, right? It broke support here. A lot of traders would have got stopped out right there when it broke support, okay, for a loss. But if you alert yourself here is, look, as soon as everybody was getting stopped out, it immediately, well, over a day or so, reversed back. So what can we do? So the first thing that I want to do is, I'm going to talk about two. They're a little bit different. This one actually closed below support. So if I take support, because again, my exit is a close below your definable support area. So when I get into a squeeze and it breaks support and it closes below the support, I'm out of there, right? Now, but one of the things that I'm going to alert you to is, look at this long uptrend, okay? Now again, we're going to go back. Let's do this. We're going to look at this period of time because here is the deal that I want to alert you to. Okay, do you see this long, beautiful, multi-month uptrend? It's just been coming down, coming down, coming down. So it's in a long multi-month uptrend. And then we come up here and you get this little close below the low Bollinger Band. Well, lots of times, guys, when you have that multi-leg uptrend or multi-month uptrend, that squeeze, when it breaks below support, it's just a head fake out because it has been. You have to go with the trend, right? When we get a squeeze in a multi-month uptrend, we have to assume that the squeeze is going to fire to the upside. Because look, we're still in a squeeze. It just broke support. Too many traders get out right there, and then what happens is it reverses and they don't know what's going on. So if you get out right here, and let me draw, bear with me here, guys. So let me actually draw a line that doesn't disappear. Okay, so there's our support level. So if you get out, one of the things I teach my students is, as soon as you exit a trade, you immediately look for reentry according to your rules. Immediately. Now, we got this little circle which tells us on the early and now candles that it's about to fire. So most traders would assume that it's going to fire to the downside, right? I mean, it broke support, momentum's down, it's going to fire to the downside. Everybody that thought that got suckered. And then when it reversed on them, they weren't prepared. Okay, it feels terrible at that moment, right? I mean, your emotions, you're like, dang it, I'm going to get out of this trade. So here's what I want you to think. When you are in a multi-month uptrend in a squeeze and it breaks below support, yes, you can get out according to your rules, but what I want you guys to start paying attention to, it's very important, is you watch what happens next, okay? Now, if it continues to go down, hey, no problem. We're glad we got out. But you see this next candle, this inside bar structure, right? Also harami. It's a bullish harami because that's support. My entry that I tell the students is, again, that's fine that you took that exit because it closed below support. It's valid. But you've got to pay attention because it's a multi-month uptrend. So what you can do is you could say, okay, if it continues to go down, no problem. But if it trades back or closes back above the high of this inside bar, okay, my rule is a close above the high of the low day. All right, so sorry about that. So in this particular case, a close above the high of the low day or any inside/following day. So my rule would be if it comes back and trades or closes, I do a trade above that high of that low day, then you can re-enter. Okay, so let me go back because I want to make sure you get this. It's a multi-month uptrend. And don't worry, one of the things about me is I'm going to continue to explain it. And sorry because I got interrupted there. I'm going to continue to explain it until I feel comfortable that you got it. Okay, so stick around. Again, it closed below support. No problem. We're out of the trade. You got this inside bar. So then you say, okay, if it trades back above the high of the inside bar, I'm going to re-enter. Okay, I'm going to re-enter. And lots of times, look what happens. It takes off. Because what's going on here is they're doing a squeeze fake out, right? It's a head fake out. Now, the reason why we would do it is because of this multi-month uptrend. Because some traders might say, well, Jeff, and again, don't worry, we're going to look at another chart too. They might say, hey, Jeff, this is nothing more than a bear flag. And I get it, right? It broke below support. It's hooking back up. They would assume it's going to roll over. But here's the thing, after looking at chart after chart after chart, if you're in a multi-month uptrend and you enter into a squeeze with stacked moving averages, I mean, it's a beautiful trend, and it breaks below support, you can get out according to your rules, but immediately start looking for re-entry because that snapback can be massive. Okay, that's the fake out of getting everybody out because you would have assumed that it's going to fire to the downside. And I'm not saying just jump in, but a trade back above the high of that inside bar or low day is your time. Because here's the deal, guys. It's all about dealing with your emotions. It breaks support. You feel sick, right? You feel terrible. Don't give up on the trade. Don't give up on the trade. Now, let's go look at another one really quick. This one is going to be CE on the daily time frame. Let me back out. Okay, so here we go, and it's happening right now. So let's go here. So what we want to start off with, and again, here is that multi-month uptrend. Okay, so now we're in a squeeze, and it started as a black, went to a red, back to a black, red, orange, right? It's a high compression squeeze, which means volatility is quiet. It's just quiet, right? That's the orange squeeze. So guess what? We're in a squeeze. Let me tell you where a lot of people would have got faked out. Okay, so let's zoom in really quickly. I'm going to kind of make it big, and let's kind of go from here. So right here, you had a beautiful squeeze. Now remember, the key is it's a huge multi-month uptrend. Moving averages are stacked. So let's go ahead and draw support. Because you guys know if you enter into a squeeze, the exit is a close below support. So look at this right here. Now, it broke down, right? It closed below support, my line, even the Bollinger Band. So a lot of traders would have exited right there. And if you did exit, that's fine. But what I really want you to pay attention to is that could be that final shakeout before the reversal back up to the top. So what we do is we get back in if it reverses and trades above the high. In this case, the high of the low day. This happens so much, guys. If you're in a squeeze and the moving averages are stacked, that's one of the requirements. The moving averages are stacked. You have a multi-month uptrend. It breaks support. Pay attention because that could be the fake out, and then it immediately goes back up. Okay, again, back it out into the bigger picture. Because again, look at this multi-month uptrend. Every single one of these squeezes resulted in a win. So you get in here, you get stopped out, and now it's resorting back up. Okay? So again, let's go look back at ZN. I want to make sure you guys get this. And I really appreciate you stopping around now. And again, we're going back in time. We're going back in time on this multi-month uptrend. Same thing. Okay, same thing. Just bear with me a second. Right there. Again, it was a multi-month uptrend. Beautiful squeeze. Moving average stack. It breaks down. You get out. That's fine. But the number one rule is watch for that snapback. And in this case, we got an inside bar. So you get back in on a trade above the high of the low, or the high of the low day, or in this case, inside day. The actual definition is a trade above the high of the low day or an inside day. And then look what happened. Boom. It just rocket shipped. All right. So going back to CE. Multi-month uptrend, right? That long, strong uptrend. Moving averages are stacked. You get a squeeze. Our assumption is it's going to fire to the upside. Okay? Now, pay attention. Pay attention. We get in the squeeze. It breaks support. My rule is if it closes below support, I'm out of there. But I understand that that could be the fake. So I am ready to get back in. I'm ready to get back in. And so then when it trades back above the high after that break, boom, these often can be explosions. Now, let me also draw something for you. And I really appreciate your time, guys. And again, if you're new to the channel, hey, subscribe to the channel if you like this type of content. I really, really appreciate it. Hey, and hit that little bell to be notified whenever I shoot a brand new video. Okay, so here's a squeeze that I just drew. Right, it's not the best looking one, but you get it. So let's say this has been in a long, large uptrend. And then it's consolidating. You get in the trade. Let's say you get in the trade somewhere in here. And then all of a sudden you get a big red candle during the day. It's breaking support. At that moment in time, how are you feeling? You're feeling pretty bad, right? You're like dealing with all the emotions. And a lot of times traders will jump out. And this is early, right? It's early in the day. It breaks support. Big red candle. They're like, I'm out of here. And by the end of the day, the candle looks like this, right? It shimmied down. Buyers stepped in and pushed it back up. And all you're telling yourself is, oh my gosh, I got out down here and it reversed right back up. So one of the lessons on this is, guys, it's all about the close. During the day, you know, again, traders are going to just move it up and down, but the big boys are going to step in the end if they're going to push it up. So don't let your emotions control you and allow you to break your rules. Okay? You take a deep breath. You tell yourself, hey, listen, I've already position size for maximum loss. It's down here during the day. That's okay. By the end of the day, if it's still down there, then you get out. Okay? Then you get out. But lots of times it will reverse right back up. Okay, that's when the emotions are the toughest, when it's down here. So guys, the whole point of all this, and I want you to do your own research and pay attention, right? Whenever you have a huge multi-month uptrend, you get a beautiful squeeze. So the month up beautiful, boom, get into a squeeze. It breaks support. Pay attention for that snap back. If you exit the trade, that's fine. But you only exit if it closes below support. But if you get a small candle and it trades back up through the high, that is your permission to get back in, right? So how do you trade the squeeze head fake? You control your emotions, you look at the bigger picture, and then you get back in if the momentum proves to you that it's going to shift, just like this and just like CM. I hope this video lesson helped. I really want you guys to, when you're in these squeezes, look at the bigger picture, pay attention, because I know a lot of you are getting stopped out, and then it's immediately going back in the direction that you thought it was going to go the whole time, and all you're telling yourself is, damn, I'm not in it. So I want you, if you get stopped out, if it closes, not trades, closes below supports, get stopped out, that's fine. But you immediately look for reentry, because the bigger uptrend, more than likely, of what I've been staring at chart after chart after chart after chart, is going to resort back in the upward direction. If you get faked out, then you get back in according to your rules. Okay? And if it's trading below support during the day, don't freak out, because anything can happen by the end of the day. Okay? Deal with your emotions. So pay attention to your charts. I mean, I can't stress to you guys enough. Nobody's going to talk to you about this stuff, okay? Nobody's going to talk to you about this. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that video lesson. Just do your own back testing. Pay attention. And if you have any questions, hey, email me, all right? All right, guys. Also, I got my Options 101 course. If you're not in there yet, it's a completely free course for beginners. I've got my Options Elite. It's a more advanced course. And then also down below, you should see a link to the Ready Aim Fire Pro. I use this indicator every single day of my trading. I have multiple trading strategies around the Ready Aim Fire Pro. You can, it's a link down there. It takes you to Simpler Trading's website. You can get it. Now, you can go to their website and get it, but if you use my link, then number one is I appreciate it. So as a bonus, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in my watch list columns over here. You see I have these custom watch list columns, and they're specifically for the TTM Squeeze Pro. Okay, so they're amazing. And I'm going to give those to you completely for free as a thank you for you using my link. So again, click the link down below if you want the Iridium Fire Pro. It's going to take you to Simpler site, but I'm going to hook you up with those codes just for using my link. Now, on the Squeeze Pro, there is a discount. So if you use my link on a Squeeze Pro, then Simpler Trading gives you a discount on the indicator as well. And again, if you get the Squeeze Pro, I'm going to hook you up with those columns as well. Okay, because those columns are actually Squeeze Pro columns. They're not Iridium Fire. I might have said Iridium Fire a minute ago, but these columns are for the Squeeze Pro. Okay, it's got the orange, the black. This is gray with black and the red. So they're amazing. Their custom columns cost me over $1,000, and I'm going to give it to you for free just for helping me out, which helps you out. So, Options 101, my elite course, the Squeeze Pro through Simpler with my link, you get a discount. Iridium Fire Pro, I believe it's the same price, but as a bonus for you helping me, I'm going to give you that code. And hey, guess what? I'll probably throw in one of my favorite scans for you for free. So it was a very important class. I hope you get it. I hope you do, guys, because they are here to take our dang money. The market makers, the market wants your money. Let's not give it to them. And if we get out, we immediately look for re-entry based on our rules, because lots of times that snapback fake out that they got us, that re-entry is golden. And you, oh my God, you will never, ever regret it. All right, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video lesson. And if you did enjoy the lesson, do me a favor. Hit the like button below, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Oh, and by the way, check down below in the description. There's a link on how you can get my latest book, Trading Part-Time, completely for free. Don't forget to take a look at my next video coming up right there. We know you'll enjoy it. All right, everybody. We'll see you in the next video lesson.